Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today is May I Scraplift You, and I am going to be scraplifting the fabulous Scrappykathyy. Now, if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago I shared with you some of the new Paper House products. And we had snowmen and all these cute little penguins and all the red and green. And I've already used the red and green. So this time I decided to go ahead and bring in the other stuff, kind of like the teal and the blue stuff. So I have that. And then what we're going to do is Scraplift Scrappykathyy. And this is her layout right here. So let's see what I can do. All right, so I'm just using a project pad backing sheet to mix some paint up, and I have a couple different paints. I have Paper Artsy Fresco Finish Chalk Acrylic in Marbles. I also have Bria Reese Paint Writer, which is a heavy body acrylic, and then of course I have my Liquitex Basics, and this is in titanium white. So I am starting out with the white. I'm just using my paintbrush to paint a white stripe on here, and then I'm going to add in a little bit more of that marbles color so that it has this little tinge of blue. And I'm just going to keep mixing the paint together until it gets darker and darker. Now I do, instead of adding a darker blue, I add the black, and what that is going to do is give it a gray tinge. So I'm not surprised that it's giving it a gray tinge. I'm not disappointed that it's giving it a gray tinge. I am completely okay that it has a gray tinge. Sorry for the noise. I just realized my desk is an utter travesty after I finish this layout. So I'm trying to straighten it up a little bit because I'm one of those people that can't stand just doing one thing at a time. So you can see that the colors are getting darker and darker as it goes. Now, I do cover up a lot of the snowflake background. I'm okay with that. You can see it peeking out in little pieces around the edge. That makes my heart happy. So I'm not concerned that like you're missing out on things. It's just not something that is worrying me. So I'm going to set that aside to dry. Now it is not super thick, so it's not going to take a whole heck of a lot of time to dry. And plus I'm going to actually scrapbook right on top of it before it is completely dry. So I have these two photos, and one is a photo that I trimmed down to 4x4, and one is a 4x6 photo. So I have those. And then I'm thinking, you know what, I'm not going to use a film strip like Kathy did. I'm going to just throw some snowflakes back there. And I figure that will work out great. I have this orange and white dotted paper that I think will be perfect. And I'm totally pulling the orange out of the colors of the photo, which is not something I do a whole lot. Usually I go with whatever I'm feeling. I don't necessarily match my papers to the photos. I know that that is definitely a design decision that a good amount of people do, but normally I don't. This case I totally am. And I'm picking, I picked my paper based on these photos too. Like I knew that there was orange in these papers, and I knew that there was orange in the photo, so I went with it. So that is to say, you know, as a rule, I just kind of scrapbook whatever I want with, you know, I don't match colors. I think I've said that twice now. But, you know, rules are made to be broken, right? So there we go. Now all of my stickers are back in their packages, and I'm sorry if that offended everyone that heard the little paper rustling. I know some people love it, some people hate it. So, you know, I probably made half of you cheer and half of you cringe. That's just the way it goes sometimes. I am using tulle on this layout. The last layout I tried to use tulle on, it didn't work out, so I definitely need it to make it work on this one. Now what I'm doing is trimming my paper down to 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and also the square one was 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm putting the tulle on here. I am using my stapler to hold it onto the paper. It's just going to be the best way to get it to stay there. I mean, honestly, I could use a liquid adhesive and let it dry, and then, you know, it'll stick pretty well as well, but I don't have time for that. So I'm using the stapler. I am using unfun foam on top of the tool. That is just because I need my photo to adhere, and it adheres better to the fun foam than it does to the tool layer. So now I am figuring out where I want it to go, and I decide that the 4x4 photo needs to be popped up just ever so slightly more than the other photo. I want a little bit of dimension on this layout. So I like how this is going. My painted background is dry enough. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that branding strip right on off of it, and then I'm going to get to actually making the page. So I decide to put the orange strip right across here where the color starts to get gray. And then I decide that I need another little layer, and I go for a washi tape. Now I rip the washi tape. It's not a big deal. I'm going to rip another piece off and put it over top here. You barely see it when the layout is finished, so I probably could have skipped this step, but it does add just a tiny little bit of extra dimension and extra oomph to the layout. So now I figure out where the photos are going to go, and I go ahead and I get them adhered down. And now I'm going to go ahead and put on my snowflakes. So a couple of them I'm going to pop up with some foam dots, and then some of them I'm going to cut into pieces and tuck under. So I want these two kind of diagonally going down the page as full snowflakes that are popped up on the foam, and then I'm going to tuck in these random bits of snowflakes so that they're kind of peeking out from behind the photos. Now this entire background is covered in snowflakes, and even though you can't see it completely well underneath of the paint, you can see the snowflakes all around the edges, and that makes me ridiculously happy. So I'm going to pull out this title that says Building Snowmen, and I'm going to go ahead and put that down, and then it's got the little hat on it, and I don't bother taking that off, messing around with it, even though my little snowman donut creations do not have hats on them. I figure it's fine, right? So I add in these 3D stickers. Now I'm not going to introduce penguins because I don't want to mix my themes, but I am pulling out the blue and the orange little bits that will work. I also grab these puffy stickers, and I'm going to go ahead and really just emphasize the fact that there is a diagonal line of embellishment right here. So I pick 3 different kinds of snowflakes and place them down. Now I will be going ahead and using some Nouveau Deluxe adhesive after the camera is off to adhere these letters that I'm adding on, and also all the snowflakes, because I don't want them falling off the page. So I have these older thickers, and I'm just going to spell out donuts so that the title is Building Snowmen Donuts. I also pop on a little bit of orange chroma mist, and then that is going to do it for this layout, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you check out Crystal and Moira's channels. They are also scrap lifting someone today. And then of course I will have their channel links down below, and also a link where you can check out Scrappykathyy. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you again real soon for another video.